Hi, this is a brief rant about some Unior tools that I haven't been really happy with. In general, in my country, in Serbia, Unior tools for bicycles give the best bang for the buck, I would say, and they are of an acceptable quality. I would even say they are quite good, especially some of their tools, but there are some, it's probably a minority. Most of my tools that I got in the last few years have been made by Unior because it's available and they make good quality tools that are not too expensive. So it's almost a no-brainer, at least in my city, if you're looking for tools. But there are some that I've not been very happy with, and now I've had a chain whip break on me and decided, okay, now is the time to make a video, like sort of a rant, hoping they will improve those tools, because I really must say I like Unior, and I'm happy with most of their tools. In addition to being because they were from my country, and I have some special feelings about Unior, but objectively most of their tools that I've used have been really good and probably the best bang for the buck, but these are not. Here, this is the first one. This is chain whip. It used to be a chain whip, 1660/2 model. Okay, I've had this chain whip come out of this chain whip several times before, and I don't use it very often because it doesn't feel very reliable. Here's what I use. This is my chain whip, main go-to chain whip now until I get something better. BikeHand YC/502A. It costs a fraction of the price of this Unior, something like half the price, and I've never had it fail. It hasn't got a long lever. Maybe that's the reason why it doesn't fail, but it's just been more reliable, and I've used it for over 7 years, I think, this one. And I use it most of the time. Well, I use this one only when I have Uniglide cassettes where I need 2 chain whips as a backup, and now it has failed when I tried it on a Uniglide cassette. And I wrote to the factory and they explained it's not for professional use. I'm not using it very often. I don't know what professional use definition is, but this is not used every day for that. I use this for lock rings on some old style bottom brackets, threaded, and I use it daily for that, almost daily, but not this side. And I'm not happy with it, and I would not recommend it based on my experience. So it feels like wasted money. This part is good, I will keep it, I will not throw it away, but I'm not happy. Next up, I already made a review of this tool, 1671.16N. It's made for Shimano Hollowtech II or Shimano monoblock bottom brackets to mount and dismount them, and for that it works quite good. It's my favorite tool for this, and it also fits these lock rings on some disc brakes, so it's a nice fit and it should allow for convenient use. However, when you put a ratchet in, when it slides and fits nicely, well, then it won't go. This part hits the axle and you cannot use this tool. So they should have made it some 5 millimeters longer and made it more universal. So Unior engineers, size does matter. And next we have this tool. It's made also for Hollowtech, for monoblock Shimano bottom brackets, called 1609/2 BI. I think this is I. Here it is. The handle is great. It fits nicely. However, when you try to dismount a bottom bracket, this angle that they've made results in your force being somehow sideways put, and you have to be very cautious not to have it slip off. And for this, to apply any sort of torque, it's pointless. I have to improvise using some old cassette sprockets and sliding some washer, and then using the quick release lever to hold this pressed against the disc brake lock ring to prevent it from slipping off, so that I can unscrew it. So it does not save me time, and it's not I'm not really happy with the design. And they also made this for for Shimano Hollowtech II left side crank, that bolt that you use to screw in the plastic bolt to set preload, the bearing preload, and move slide the left crank to the axle. They made it out of steel, which is good. I thought, okay, I have a plastic Shimano one, here I'm getting a steel one with a practical magnet, so it doesn't get lost. Perfect. And they also made, this is 13mm, I think, wrench, like side, so you can use a 13mm wrench to use some force if you are dealing with a steel bolt. Some cranks have a steel one, or aftermarket ones are sold of aluminum, usually not steel. So if it gets stuck or galvanically welded or something, you can use a lot of force to unscrew it. And so thought, well, this is good design, this is a good idea. And then I tried to put it into a Shimano crank to unscrew it, and it couldn't fit. The torques that are used for tightening those are 1 to, I think, maybe up to 3 Newton meters at most. So it's not some super torque, and it doesn't have to be really close fitting. It could have probably been a 1/4 of a millimeter smaller than perfect, and it still would have worked, but they made this bit too large. The tolerances of manufacturing or quality control or whatever are probably not very good, and so maybe this is just that I got a faulty one, but I'm really not happy with this. It's a waste of time. That's the most expensive, the most complicated thing. When you get the tools, order them, wait for a few weeks, then it turns out they don't work, and then you have to take the time to return them and all the hassle. And this one didn't work when I started working. So having your tools cause you a problem at work is a lot of frustration, and it makes everything more complicated. You spend more time, you get frustrated, you get nervous when you use a tool that you cannot rely on. So I'm not sure how to explain it, but that feeling when you start doing something and you're not sure if the tool will hold or it will do a good job, it makes things a lot more frustrating and a lot more tiring and difficult. So here I will make more reviews about Unior tools that I love, that are really good quality, but I'm not happy with these tools, at least with the models I got. The same can be said about Shimano. This is TL/FC32. This is their tool for bottom brackets, one of their tools. And this one is not good because it's open. Maybe for some jobs it's a good idea to have this open, but for 99% of the jobs this just makes it, for when you're using it on a stock aluminum bottom bracket cup and trying to unscrew it, you have a short lever, and you have this that doesn't enclose it all the way around, so it can burr inside and completely squash all the aluminum of the bottom bracket cup, so you have nothing to hold against to unscrew it. So it's not it's good for mounting, but for dismounting, especially stock bottom brackets, I would recommend something like this, but know that you will use it only for that. You cannot use it for disc brakes, so can't have it all, unfortunately. It's nonsense, in my opinion. There should be one tool that does all these jobs nicely. Thank you for watching. Sorry about the rant. I'm really not happy. Cheers.